little boy. Just kidding, I'm Canaan. Anyway, guys, have you ever heard the story of Samson? A really strong Israelite? What? Okay. Anyway, Samson was born an Israelite. He was a Nazarite. Anyway, he was to follow these commands: not to eat any dirty foods, not to touch dead stuff, and not to trim his hair. But one day, while he was heading to see his girlfriend, he married a woman named Tara, I guess. That's what I heard in the Samson movie. And when he was almost there, a lion jumped out of nowhere and scared the daylights out of him. But he looked up to God and said, "God, give me strength." And he did give him strength. He killed the lion. Isn't that awesome?
With his bare hands.
He killed the lion with these bare hands. Well, not with my bare hands, but you get it. His bare hands. Anyway, Samson went to see his girlfriend, and they were having a party for their marriage. And the Philistines, who were the mean guys who wanted to destroy Israel, they had to give Samson a riddle. But Samson stopped him. He wanted to give his riddle first. So, this was his riddle. Out of the eater, something to eat. Out of the strong, something sweet. And did I mention that on his way back, he saw that lion dead in the middle of the road with a bee's nest inside of him? And he picked up the bee's nest, which is one of his commandments broken. Anyway, he had to go back to his home, and the Philistines bribed Tara on giving them the answer. And she did. Well, she got it off of Samson, but yeah. And then, here was the answer. What was sweeter than honey? What was stronger than a lion? Anyway, the riddle was solved, and you know what their reward was, the Philistines' reward? 30 sets of clothes and 30 robes. Samson couldn't get this, for he was poor. But he killed a whole bunch of Philistines to get their robes and clothes. He brought them back to the Philistines, and they noticed, which is his second rule broken. And he brought them back to the Philistines, and he killed tons of Philistines for doing it. And then they noticed it had blood on it. They were going to arrest Samson, but he got away, fortunately. Anyway, Samson had to do something back to the Philistines. So he gathered up how many foxes, Mom? About 300 foxes. And then he tied torches to their tails. And when he lighted the torches, the foxes got scared by the fire and ran through the Philistines' cornfields. And then all of their stuff burned down. including Tara and her dad. Tara was thrown into the fire by the Philistine commander. Anyway, Samson had to do something. But then the Philistines had him come to them one day, and this is when he killed over 1,000 Philistines. I know that's 10, but yeah. Anyway, the Philistines came at Samson, and he found a jawbone of a donkey and killed every single one of them.
Just with the jawbone of a donkey.
Yes, that's right, Camden. Just with one jawbone of a donkey. And anyway, he was thirsty, and he was about to die of thirst, but God gave him water from the ground. Ain't that awesome? Anyway, he went back to his home, and he was still pretty bummed about Tara being dead. Anyway, one day, he met a girl named Delilah. She was beautiful. She was a Philistine, though. And she was very beautiful. Anyway, Samson had to tell her she was being controlled by the Philistines. And they told her to tell the secret of Samson's strength. Same thing with the riddle, you know? Anyway, Samson told her first that she had to bind him with not robes, but ropes. But that didn't work. Next, he told his final secret. His hair was the source of his power. Anyway, they cut his hair, and he was no longer had his strength. He was going to he was being blinded by one of the Philistines. They jabbed hot pokers in his eyes, and it blinded him. And they beat him up, and they took him into slavery. One day, they had a humongous party to celebrate Samson's almost death. They were making fun of him, saying, "Where's your God now, Samson?" And then he began to pray, and he said, "Lord, give me strength. Let me die with the Philistines." And then he put his hands against the pillars of the party, and then everything came tumbling down, killing everyone inside, including Samson, sadly. But then Samson had killed as many Philistines as he did in his life. That's all I have for now, kids. Bye!